Okay, picture this. You're home alone. Everything's quiet, and then you feel it. That sudden prickle on the back of your neck, that gut feeling, that absolute certainty that someone is watching you. It's this primal, unsettling sensation that, turns out, connects pretty much all of us.
I mean, you've felt that, right? It's such a universal experience. This deep down certainty that eyes are on you. Even when your rational brain is screaming that the room is empty, it's a feeling you just can't shake.
And hey, if you've felt it, you are not alone. Not even close. Get this. Surveys show that up to 97% of people have had this exact same experience. So this isn't some rare glitch. It's practically a built-in feature of being human.
So what is it then? A sixth sense? Some ghost in the machine? Well, the actual science is way more fascinating. What you're feeling is a really old, deeply rooted survival system that's just kind of misfiring in our modern world. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it all works. So, to really get to the bottom of this, the first thing we have to do is give it a proper name. We need to pull it out of the shadows of the supernatural and into the bright light of science.
Believe it or not, there's a word for it. Scopaesthesia. It's the scientific term for the sensation or, often the illusion of being stared at. Just giving it a name is a huge first step, right? Because it takes it out of spooky movie territory and puts it right where it belongs, in the world of neuroscience and psychology. Okay, so if it's not a ghost, what part of you is actually creating this feeling? Well, let's meet the dedicated little security team that's living inside your head. At the very heart of this is something called your gaze detection system. Now, the key word here is subconscious. Think of it like an antivirus program that's always running in the background of your computer. You're not thinking about it, but it's constantly scanning for eyes, 24/7. Now, this system has a few star players. You've got the amygdala. That's basically your brain's panic button. It's always scanning for threats, and it gets especially fired up when it thinks you're being watched. Then there's another part dedicated to figuring out where someone is looking. And a third part is just obsessed with finding faces, even in random things, like a cloud or a piece of toast. Together, they're a super effective, if maybe a little overzealous, surveillance team. So why is this system so jumpy? Well, it all boils down to a super simple evolutionary calculation. Let's think about it. What's the cost of a false alarm? Feeling watched when no one is there? A few seconds of anxiety. No big deal. But what's the cost of missing a real threat? Not noticing a predator hiding in the bushes? Well, that could be game over. Our brains evolved with a powerful better safe than sorry bias, because a false alarm is cheap, but a missed threat can cost you everything.
And this whole better safe than sorry thing isn't some new feature. To really understand why it's so powerful, we have to take a trip way, way back in our evolutionary history. For our ancient ancestors, survival was all about vigilance. Spotting a predator or a rival just a split second earlier was literally the difference between life and death. So being hyper-aware got hardwired right into our DNA. Then, as we became more social, something really cool happened. Our eyes evolved the white parts, the sclera, which makes it super obvious where we're looking. This was great for cooperation. Now, fast forward to today. That exact same ancient system is still running, but in a world full of ambiguous triggers, a floorboard creaking, a shadow in the corner of your eye. And that's what causes all these harmless but still kind of creepy false alarms. So, we've got this ancient wiring running on our modern hardware. What happens when that system collides with our 21st century minds and our environment? This is where it gets really interesting. Our brains are packed with these little mental shortcuts, or biases, that basically pour fuel on this fire. There's the spotlight effect, which makes us think people are paying way more attention to us than they really are. Confirmation bias is a huge one here. You'll forget the 100 times you turned around and saw nothing, but you will never forget that one time someone actually was looking at you. And then there's pareidolia. That's our brain's knack for seeing faces in everything, which can turn a coat hanging on a chair into a person lurking in the dark. And our modern world, it's just making things worse. We live surrounded by CCTV cameras. We're tracked online. Social media gives us this sense of an invisible audience watching our every move. And hey, even just watching a scary movie can prime your brain's threat detector, making you jump at every little noise for hours. After hearing all this, it's pretty easy to think of this feeling as a bug in our system, right? A glitch in the matrix. But the most crucial thing to understand is that it's the exact opposite. Now, even though it's normal, it can be really unsettling. So what can you do when it happens? First, just do a quick reality check. Scan the room. What was that noise really? Second, increase clarity. Turn on a light. This system absolutely thrives on ambiguity.
Third, and this is the big one, challenge the thought. Remind yourself out loud, this is just my ancient alarm system doing its thing. And finally, practicing a little mindfulness can help ground you in the moment and calm that anxiety right down.
And this is the core idea to take away. That feeling isn't a flaw, it's a feature. It's proof of an incredible piece of evolutionary engineering that kept our species safe for hundreds of thousands of years. It's just an ancient system doing its best in a world it was never designed for.
So the next time you're alone and you feel that prickling sensation on your neck, maybe instead of fear, you can feel just a little bit of awe for that ancient, overprotective alarm system that's still looking out for you. The real question is, now that you know the reason why it happens, will you ever feel the same about it again?